Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters.
Yeah, moving too bossy, we don't tread softly, but not flossy, the streets that taught me, moving too bossy, we don't tread softly, but not flossy, the streets that taught me, I'm just trying to get my nigga paid. We came from Section 8, and I knew I was at since the second grade. Man, I swear my time is coming, cause I'm never late. Came from broken homes and broken dreams to getting paid.
Boss Cowboys.
Your voice matters.
And y'all should already know. Y'all should already know. But sadly, sometimes people don't. So we got to continue to work. So today we go ask, are the Dallas Cowboys fans getting Zimmer or the three-headed mutant Zimmer? Real question. Because I think we're getting the mutant. We go talk about it. And it's not good. But if we say nothing, it can be worse. So I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to measure this Kool-Aid and break it all the way down. Boss Cowboy Sports, your voice matter. Mine does too. Let's get to work.
Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters.
No watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. New watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. Need no middleman, I'm the man to man, send it in. I like what I like, me, I know my rights is sipping in. I like having fun, I do what I want, it's what it is. For my son and son, for my daughters, yeah, it's for my twin. I work through the night, I do what I like, get a check, I go for the ride. I've been down the ride for the win, still move on the hush, never run for none. I face my fears, I just drop for none, month to month, still from year to year. New watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. New watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich. Do it again, again, again. I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich. Do it again, again, again. Get some checks, I invest, and I spend a check. Spend a check, get it back, then I take a rest. Only race is the human, I take care of my skin. I was doing this as a rookie, now I'm up to vet. Set the trend, set the pace of play. I don't trip, but if I fall, bet I make a way. I take trips in the fall, watch the leaves change. I like to treat every day like it's my B-day. No watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. New watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich. Do it again, again, again. I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich. Do it again, again, again.
Welcome to Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters.
Do it again, again, again.
All the executives come in and have a seat.
Do it again, again, again.
Yeah. What's up, everybody, man? Good to see everybody. Obviously, the season is officially over. And some people tune out around this time. This is not the time, in my opinion, to tune out. This is the time to tune in. Because I really believe this wholeheartedly, that championships are won in the off season, not the season. So you gotta, in my opinion, stay focused on the moves that's happening and be active. All right. Because I obviously came in, some people might call it controversial. I'm calling it honest. Just calling it honest. I asked a question. Are the Dallas Cowboy fans getting Zimmer or three-headed mutant Zimmer? To be all the way honest, I think we getting a mutant. I'm going to explain it. I'm going to go all the way through it. I'm going to measure all the Kool-Aid openly. And we go talk about it. And, we go break this down. So first thing I'm going to do is let's define mutant, right? When you look at mutant, mutants are basically resulting from or showing the effect of mutation. That's a mutant. Resulting from or showing the effect of mutation. Yeah. And I'm asking the real question. Are we getting Zimmer or are we getting the mutation of Zimmer? So I'm the right person too to make this case. Because before I get into it, I'm going to make the case on why you can trust me on this. Because first of all, I'm not new. I'm not new to this. And I have a track record by now. And my track record honestly should be taken serious, especially when I won. It's just what it is. I can see if I was a new booty dude, if I was new, but I've stood alone many times and was right alone. Not after, before what I warned about hitters in the mouth. Y'all give me 1 second.
It's all fake news. It's phony stuff. It didn't happen.
Before hitting us in the mouth. See, that's key. Because, and why am I like this? When I said the story before, I'm going to say it again. I was in a University of Houston and in a sales program where we had one of the bigger entrepreneurs come. Multi-millionaire guy. He started a company called Davari. And he said, when I'm the owner and when you're the owner, he said, the people I fire first? The people that I fire first? He said, the people that I fire first are the people that watch me do something bad, wait till it happens, and then say, I knew it. I see what you're saying, Tyrone Church, and I agree. You own it, Tyrone. But let me say that again. He said the people that I fire first are the people that'll watch me do something bad or stupid. Say nothing. Then after it fails, say, I knew that was going to happen. See, I never forgot that. And see, and what he's saying is, as a leader, as an owner, don't let me go head first, because I'm just trying to do my best. And I'm going to say this about the Joneses, obviously, Will McClay, all of them, Steven, they doing their best, But what kind of person or fans are we to watch something where it looks like they might be going in the wrong direction and we say nothing? Especially if they've done it before. The ultimate sign of loyalty is, are you willing to stop somebody from going off a cliff if it looked like they're headed that way? So that's why I do content the way that I do content. And then Tyrone, this is a good thought. I'm with you on this thought. We go talk about it. But we also got to be honest that even with this thought, which I think is completely accurate from my brother Tyrone Church, I think this is completely accurate. Hold on real quick. Let me put this up. He said he's sneaking his homies in, talking Zimmer, and I agree. But the problem is, why do you gotta sneak, bro? Think about that. Why should he sneak? Right? Which still makes it a mutant. It still makes, we gonna talk about it though. We gonna get into it. So the question is, who are we getting? And I think we getting a mutation where it's gonna be partially Zimmer, but not fully Zimmer. And we gonna have to fight for it. So let me make the case on why you can trust me real quick. Just real quick. I'm gonna make a quick case on why you can trust me. First of all, I was the one that was warning about Lyle versus Steele before it happened. And who ended up on the bench in the playoffs when we first played San Fran in Dallas? And who was playing the right tackle? The wrong guy. And I was saying it early, not after the fact, early. I showed evidence of they was having running success running to the right. I showed the film. I showed the data. I did everything I could showing where the success was coming from before we failed. Making the case on the best five before we failed. Who was the person that was warned about Kellen and the power dilemma? And I called it a power dilemma. Yeah. Before it failed. And while it was the number one offense. See, me and Tuck talk about this a lot. We talk about this a lot. I don't like content to where you mad and you doing content after we failed. Who go warn before it happened? Who was the person that was calling Kellen Moore's system fool's gold while the world was saying we got the number one offense and y'all hating on Kellen? Who was warning about that? Tyrone Church, you on point, boy. Ooh, you killing in them comments. Boy, you need to start a channel. Tyrone Church, you need to start a channel. You got the mind for it. You really do. Yeah, who was warning on Mike McCarthy versus Kellen Moore? I'm talking about a year and a half before Kellen was fired. I'm talking about going in and in. And I was calling it the system. Then my brother Jay Tuck joined in the fight, did more research and found that it was a name for it. The no identity Dallas Cowboys offense. And we was warning. So like this is leading up to Zimmer. This is leading up to Zimmer. But see, when I warn and I give warnings, I've earned the right, bro. Like I can see if I started this channel yesterday. Listen to this. Now listen to me and Tuck in hindsight. Listen to this in hindsight. Listen.
Nah.
So how do you be a head coach and you don't have the power to be a head coach? And also shout out to 105.3 The Fan for that clip. We wouldn't have this talk if it wasn't for them.
Right.
But how do you do it?
And I feel like when it comes to Mike McCarthy, his hands are tied behind his back. Because one, as a man, you want to keep a job.
Right.
But he is not the voice in the locker room. The players know that. The fans know that. The media should know that. Like,
I don't even think the fans know that, Tuck.
Well,
I think we know that because
the fans that watch this channel.
Oh, true. The fans that watch your channel and my channel know that.
They know because like.
But the majority of the fans, I don't think they have no idea that Mike McCarthy's hands are tied.
And this is what I'm trying to tell Cowboys fans. If Mike McCarthy was in full control, this Cowboys team would look a lot different.
I think so.
Because even thinking about it, from the video that I
Just think about what Tuck just said. See, it's frustrating when it's hindsight, you know, But we was warned. This was literally the day before game 1, where everybody wanted to talk about optimism and all of this kind of stuff. We was still warning. Mike McCarthy don't have full control of this offense. Now, how many of y'all liked the offense last year and what Dak did in year 1 of Mike McCarthy finally having power? What if Tuck and I would have been taken serious then, instead of, what people was doing was, nah, we fine, boss. Come on, nothing to see here, boss. Now, Tuck, come on, y'all been negative.
Different Kellen Moore about the buffet style offense. Ooh. That's not Mike McCarthy's approach. He's a West Coast guy.
That's not. Keep talking.
He's a West Coast guy.
That's the 5th time he was overruled. To this point. Man, see, Tug, we gotta do more shows, bro.
Yeah.
See, listen. Because, I know what you're talking about. Let me explain what he's talking about. So, Mike McCarthy came out in the offseason where he was talking about a West Coast approach and matchup football.
Right.
They not talking about matchup football.
Right.
Was we right? Was we right? Was we right? And this ain't about being right. We was saying what we was saying to win.
When you hear Stephen Jones talk, Jerry talk, and Kellen talk, they still talking no ID offense. Can you explain no ID offense?
So no ID offense goes back to what Kellen Moore did at Boise State. And so what it's really about is about not having a star player, because we all know Boise State didn't have star players. They had what Alabama and Texas and all these other schools had. So it's about finding the matchups, outweighing the numbers, and taking benefits of what the defense gives you. Right. Now, here's the problem with that, Cowboys Nation.
Listen.
It allows the defense to dictate what you're going to play call.
Oh.
I can give you this type of look. You're going to try to respond to it. So people defensive coordinators picked up on what Kellen Moore is doing. So we looked at numerous occasions. Mike McCarthy comes out and says, I want to get Amari Cooper of Baltimore. You have Amari Cooper one-on-one the island. Well, that's not what Kellen Moore's philosophy says. Right. And so Dak Prescott was taking other reads elsewhere. And so that's the problem when it comes to Dallas. I feel like the Cowboys have really cut Mike McCarthy's wings short, where he really is not in control.
Now, these are the same people warning about what's going on right now with Zimmer. And you know what y'all doing? Y'all doing us just like y'all did us then. Boss, don't be negative. Now, look how dead on right Tuck was and I. We was like, bro, this is crazy. Now, these are the same people warning you that we getting ready to get a mutation in Zimmer, the way they setting it up. But see, this is the time of the offseason where people want to be hopeful and they want to be optimistic. So they go la 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 boss Tuck, shut up, negative, I want positive, la 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 la.
Not in control with the personnel. We heard conversations about the draft picks. He's not in charge with the play calling. So what does Mike McCarthy really do? Mike McCarthy is a quarterback guru. And
called him a quarterback guru. Was he right? Was Tuck right? Huh? Was he right? Huh? See, it's different when it's said in foresight. Listen to it in hindsight. Listen to it in hindsight. Was he really trying to win, or was he trying to get clicks? Was he really putting out there what was the best idea for us to win, or was he bullshitting? Was we being negative, or was we telling the truth?
Bruh. He's an offensive play.
My boy say, boss, I can't agree with you on Zimmer. I'm going to kiss the ass to the Joneses. We're just listening, bro. Just keep listening. I'm going to show you, bro. Okay? And then after I show you, it's up to you.
He's doing zero in Dallas. What is his value?
His hands are tied. Right. And so this is why you got to stay. He going to be back. Tuck will be back in a minute, but his hands are truly tied.
Right.
And it's going to be listening to Jay Tuck Listen to Boss Cowboy Sports. Following both of our channels. Go ahead and plug your channel real quick.
Yeah, CFO Sports. You can go ahead to my channel. We also got the new merch store, CFOSportsTalk.com. Y'all can follow me on all social media platforms at JTuck151. I'm about to go do something for the radio. But like, it's a beautiful day out here, Cowboys Nation. I'm coming right back.
You're going to be right back.
I didn't even know my guy was going to be out here. I was like, is that?
And see, keep in mind that it was no prep when it was no prep at all when Tuck sat down. He just sat down. He just ready like that, and I'm ready like that. And then, so this is a good question. Let me show it. He said Zimmer mutated. What you mean, boss? Stay with me. I'm gonna break it down. Stay with me. I'm gonna break it down. Okay. He fighting though. This is the thing though. He fighting. He fighting similar to what Mike McCarthy was doing. He fighting similar to what Mike McCarthy was doing. And I'm gonna explain that as well. But see, you are not getting a Zimmer. I'm telling you right now, you are not getting Zimmer. You are not getting that Zimmer that all these players fell in love with. Okay? And we could, but we got to keep our eyes open. That's the main thing I'm going to say from this presentation. We must keep our eyes open. Must. You cannot fall asleep right now. You can't be like, oh, that's the off season. I'm going to take a break. Bad time to take a break. And so think about it. Tuck and I was warning on that. Was we right? Absolutely, we was right. But what was people saying to us then? Nothing to see here. Come on now. Come on, boss. Tuck. Come on. Now, we talking about all of the explosions that we seeing. We giving quotes and we showing what they saying. And, boss, we got the number one offense, boss. Stop being negative. We getting ready to play team. Tampa. I don't get the hate. I don't get the hate on Kellen. I don't get you guys. You guys are just too negative for me. I'm going to unsubscribe. Yeah. And I'm talking about even while we was the number one offense, I'm going crazy. I call Kellen Moore an untrainable dog. Yeah. Yeah, because I knew Mike McCarthy was trying to teach him to be a responsible play caller and close our games the right way, but he was stubborn. And we was seeing stubborn play calling. And we was calling it out. I even debated Danny Phantom. Yeah. With blogging in the boys. Shout out to him because at least he had the balls to face me. Instead of sneak dissing. I invited him on. I say, man, I'll make my case. Let's talk. He came on. And after I made my case, he said, man, you know what? You got some good cases against Kelly. So did. Yeah. Told everybody. The arranged marriage between Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy was doomed from the start. I told everybody that. Boss, no, boss, no. I don't want to hear it, boss. I just want to hear we're going to the Super Bowl, boss. I called it doom from the start. Why? Why did I call it doom? Think about it. The same thing I'm saying with Zimmer. When Mike McCarthy came in, I said, how in the world do you assign an OC to your head coach? How? How is that gonna work? That's two visions. Two vision is division, however you want to say it. You got somebody that's an option route OC. You got another that's a West Coast OC, and they supposed to see eye to eye. I was like, oh, hell no. It was doomed from the start. And I said it early. Because you know what happened? A lot of us, we get into the offseason and we want to be optimistic, so we stop using our common sense. So people still don't have no problem with Mike McCarthy picking Zimmer's defensive squad. A lot of people have no problem with that. They think that's just normal. In some cases, it's smart. Like obviously with Al Harris, yes. Yeah, I want somebody to put their foot down and say, yeah, keep that. But he told him to keep all of it, including Scott McCurley. Huh? And so that's why Tyrone Church is saying he's sneaking his guys in. He right. Yeah, Tyrone Church is right. Yes, Zimmer is having to sneak in his guys. But why should you have to sneak in guys when you already the guy your damn self? But then people saying, Bones, come on now. Come on. Why y'all got a problem with Scott McCurley? I'm going to explain that. See, y'all want to be so positive so bad, bro. No, he didn't pick his whole staff. No, he didn't pick his whole staff, but he told him, I'm going to play the clip right now.
Just curious about your thoughts on Al Harris and kind of, as you're putting the staff together, how he kind of fits in.
Yeah, I had a good visit with Al and the rest of the coaches here, and he's, it's up to. Obviously, Mike has made the decision that these guys are going. It's up to. Obviously, Mike has made the decision that these guys are going to be here, and it's up to. Obviously, Mike has made the decision that these guys are going to be here, and so we had a good conversation that that he's going to still be here with us, and I'm excited to work with him. And
who made the decision? Now, Zimmer is bringing in the vacant guys. I ain't make it up, man. Goddamn, I didn't make it up. And some of y'all want to be just optimistic so bad that when reality hits you in your face, you want to just reality hit you. See, this is why me and Tuck was warning and we was by ourselves. It should have been an army of fans behind us on this. But we show you their words. Oh, boss, there's nothing to see here, boss. There's nothing to see here, boss. Okay. At least we should be concerned, bro. Because what's the difference between an arranged marriage and a forced marriage? And that's why I called it doom from the start. So now Zimmer has to tiptoe around Scott McCurley. Man. Now, you shouldn't have to go get a coach to help him. What the fuck? And y'all thinking y'all really getting the full Zimmer? You ain't getting the full Zimmer. The real issue is, because think about it. Just think about it. When it was Mike McCarthy, right? And he was fighting for his power. Was that the full Mike McCarthy? Huh? Let's just use our common sense. Let's just stop and think for a second. Do y'all remember the days where Mike McCarthy was fighting for his power? Huh? How was the offense when he was tiptoeing? Oh, boss, it was number one. Oh, boss, it was. Bruh. Let me just ask you a simple question. Which offense did you like more, Kellen's or Mike? Which one did you like more, where CD Lamb was getting a whole bunch of targets and able to take over games because it was about matchups? Or did you like the system approach where the defense was able to dictate where the ball was going to go? Which one did you like more? Mike's. Yeah. So the same warning I'm saying with Mike, I'm saying with Zimmer. That's why I'm calling Zimmer a mutation. And I'm going to keep warning about it. I ain't finished. Because, yeah, I did talk about the arranged marriage, did a whole show about it, called it Doom from the Start. Boss, you just talking, or was I? Then all of a sudden, guess who came out saying exactly what I was saying? Because after they fired Kellen Moore, because ain't it funny? People was calling me a conspiracy theorist at first. Then they fired Kellen Moore, and then Mike began to speak his mind.
Bringing real back. He be speaking his mind. That boy was the shit.
Mm-hmm. He began to speak his mind. He began to talk about the dilemmas of working with Kellen Moore. But while he was working with him, it was a whole bunch of wee-woo and people calling me a conspiracy theorist.
Oh, you see this guy? See this guy? Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee-woo.
Yeah. And ain't it funny? People was calling me crazy. But when they fired Kellen, it was over 900 people watching me live. You know why? And that ain't supposed to have, let me tell you something. It ain't supposed to be 900 people watching live on a channel that only got 7,000 subs. I was warning y'all about Be Like Mike McCarthy, where he was fighting against Kellen Moore. Which is what Zimmer is doing right now. Who was the person that was warning y'all that they was targeting Cooper to get him out of here? Who was the person that was telling y'all before it was gonna happen that they trying to get Coop out of here? Not after, not complaining afterwards, before. Huh? Did all shows, yeah, heat from all angles to get rid of Amari. Who was warning about that? Yeah. How did that play out? I see you super chat, B Bird. I'm gonna go back to it. Who was telling y'all about these scapegoat coaches? Who did a whole show about those firings not making sense? This ain't bragging. Oh, boss was right. No, this is about when I'm warning, bro, I'm seeing something, bro. I'm seeing something, bro. I'm not just talking. Oh, y'all don't remember Brian Broaddus coming on the final word and confirming that? Lastly, who was warning about the dangers of Green Bay? When everybody else was saying, we getting ready to blow them out. Oh man, look, Vegas got us favored. Home field advantage. We've won 17 games straight. Who was the person saying, don't believe in that junk ass science? Who was the person warning, take this team serious? Who? Who was warning? All right. So I went through that track record not to brag, but to say when I'm talking about the Zimmer stuff, take me serious, bro. Take Tuck serious. We've earned it. Like at this point, it's a long track record. It's not a short track record. We got a long track record of being right on things we didn't want to be right about. Let me say that again. We got a long track record of being right about things we wanted to be wrong about. Do you think we wanted to be right about Kelly Moore? Do you think I wanted to be right about Steele? Do you think I wanted to be right about Green Bay? Do you think I wanted to be right about them coaches? Do you think I wanted to be right about Amari Cooper getting run out of here? You think I wanted that? I'm finna get into the Zimmer stuff, but I gotta set the table. I gotta set the table of trust. You gotta trust. I ain't saying believe everything I'm saying, but you better not come in here like I'm just talking. Not at this point. Not at this point. Now listen to me and Tuck right here. This one I know went over a lot of people's head. Listen to this one. Listen.
Conversation, but the cross training to me is so beneficial.
Hold on.
And
cross training?
And his particular talent, his skill get ready to play just there. I mean, that's one conversation. But the
Y'all know
cross
I do
training
content myself.
to me is so beneficial
my guy, Boss Cowboy.
for all your linemen. And his particular talent, and get ready to play just there. I mean, that's one conversation. But the cross training to me is so beneficial for all your linemen. And his particular talent, and his skill set. I mean, playing left tackle from an assignment standpoint is easier than playing guard. So the opportunity to learn guard, just in the classroom component, the mental part of it is so beneficial, to playing tackle.
All right, let's talk, bro. Because
Words say one thing, actions say another.
See, Tuck picked it up. Most people didn't pick it up. He said, words say one thing, actions say another.
I'm done. This is why I rock with my boy Tuck right here. Listen, and you picked it up so quick. That's why I love Tuck. Tuck, we got to do more shows, bro.
Hey, Now,
we got to do more shows. Now.
Oh, we start doing shows after this, too. We start, me and him ramped up.
What Tuck just said was big, all right? And this is the pattern that I keep seeing, bro. Mike McCarthy has one desire. They actually do something different.
Mm-hmm.
So it's happening to Mike McCarthy, but y'all, it was happening to Mike McCarthy, but y'all really believe that it's no chance that this could happen to Zimmer. Is that what you telling me? Huh? Is that what you telling me? I'm not finna put my head in the sand because I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm just not gonna do it. If you do it, that's on you. But I'm not. I'm not gonna ignore how they move and how they've been moving just because I want to hope.
He clearly said that cross-training helped all the linemen.
So you got your head coach who's saying cross-training helps all the linemen.
Right.
But did all the linemen get the cross-training?
Not the most important linemen did not get the cross-training.
It did not happen.
So
what does that mean,
Tyler
dude?
Biadasz didn't get no cross-training?
No.
Did we see Terrence Steele play different positions?
No.
Okay. Zach Martin?
No.
Okay.
But it helps them all.
Okay.
It helps. And your head coach said it helps them all. So if your head coach says it helps them all and they not doing it, is he really in control?
He is not in control. Not in control.
Martin, I see you, man. I get it. You want to believe. You go stick with it. You go stick with it to the end. You go stick with it to the end. He not bullying Zimmer. Zimmer just a real man. He not gonna bully Zimmer.
Stop.
Mike, speaking of players and stuff, just as a defensive coordinator, how important is it for you as you go into free agency and the draft to have the say in the kind of players that you want to have your imprint on the defense and what kind of style you want to play?
The one great thing about here, even when I was here long time ago and talking to Mike how it is here, the coaches have a lot of input, and so you can give, we can communicate with Jerry about the things that we're looking for. Can you always get him? No, but with Jerry about the things that we're looking for. Can you always get him? No. We can communicate with Jerry about the things that we're looking for. Can you always get him? No.
Oh, he not gonna bully Zimmer, boss. He not gonna boss. You wrong. Oh. Now, I can show you they words and y'all still gonna say the opposite. I can show you they own words. Now, I could also show you that when he was with the Bengals, he had control over personnel if he could fire cats or not. Yeah. And see, I'm gonna go back in time and show you that's why George Iloka chose him, Zimmer. And he recalled a story of how when a veteran was trying to buck up, Zimmer emptied out his locker. You think that can happen here, bro? Huh? So was this a tone of an alpha? Do you get what you want?
Jerry about the things that we're looking for. Can you always get him? No. But.
Oh, that's an alpha? Huh? See, listen, man, I'm not turning off my brain just because I want to hope in the Cowboys. It's better to just see the reality of where we are and address it. It's better to see the reality of where we are versus being delusional and just hoping in what's not here. I'm not finna just turn my brain off because I like this team. I've listened to these people words, and that's why I'm so right on what they doing. That's why my warnings come to pass, because I actually listen to them. I don't ignore what they're saying. I don't just ignore it to hope. I just want to hope. He's not going to bully Zimmer. Listen, y'all, if you don't see the indications that he's already coming in docile and cut, you not paying attention. And you just want to, that's why I hate the offseason. I swear to God, that's why I hate the off, because every offseason, we just do it every year. We just start having this delusional optimism. Even when it's in our face, it can be in our face. I can show you their very words, and some of y'all still go, oh no, Zimmer go come in here, he go crack some whips. Yeah, he go crack some whips, but he not go crack whips like he could at another organization. Because in another organization, if he wanted to fire somebody, he would. In this organization, he got to go get it cleared by Jerry and Steven. That's a mutation. That is not all Zimmer. That's a mutation of Zimmer. And some of us want the real Zimmer. We want the empowered Zimmer. We don't want this docile, we got to run everything by you Zimmer. Yeah, and we did the same thing last year. I saw this exact same comment last year. I trust Will McClay. And it was me and Tuck and the OC saying during the draft, we were saying this was a budget draft. Because they wanted to be optimistic. Oh, I trust Will. I trust Will McClay. You just a YouTuber. I trust Will McClay. Oh, boss, I'm going to just sit back. I'm going to just trust Will. That's why I'm calling it a mutation. Y'all think y'all looking at Zimmer, y'all looking at a mutation. Yes, it's some of him, but I'm telling you, it is also set up to be a combination of other people. Yeah, and see, my boy CFT in the building. What's up, big dog? he come in here with this sense. Hold on real quick. Let me get his comment in here. My software acting a little glitchy. Y'all give me a second. Let me get my boy comment up in here. Man, it's not showing right. Come on. I'm trying to get my boy comment up in here. All right. I'm gonna just have to read it. It's coming in goofy. Hold on, man. Y'all be patient, bro. I can't have no presentation like this. Y'all give me 1 second. Boy, this thing so freaking glitchy. Say, listen, y'all. When Law say he be we be flying planes, bro, it's real, bro. But I want to get my boy comment in here, man. Give me a second. Okay. All right. Here we go. I think it's gonna work good. Here we go. So much better. So much better. He said, bro, it don't matter who we hire. They always gonna be tainted. It's our chosen way of life. This is why they hire their guys. And see, this is the funny thing about that, Rome. It's so backwards the way that we do it. Because basically, why did Mike McCarthy have to come in with more success over the Dallas Cowboys and then had to prove that he was right? Just think about that. He had to come in as the head coach, have Kellen Moore assigned to him, and had to work to prove that he was right. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Ooh, see, B-Bird, you said it. You said it. To get the job, here you have to bow down before them before they sign you. Yes, and you have to work in step. You have to work to show them they was wrong. You literally have to get hired and then say, why we wrong? God damn. Ow. Whew. Yeah. And so I'm saying something about it now, and I'm speaking about it now because we need to have Zimmer back, because Zimmer gonna need some people fighting with him. That's what I'm trying to prepare us for. Zimmer is gonna need people fighting with him. I believe in Zimmer too. Okay, let me say that right. I believe in Zimmer too. But when I saw Mike McCarthy fighting for his power, guess who stepped up and started fighting with him? We did. We did. All of us did. So when Jay Tuck saw him, he called me. He said, boss, Mike McCarthy is fighting for his power. He said, check your Twitter. And I checked it. And I said, damn, he showed it. But if I would have stayed quiet and if Tuck would have stayed quiet, guess what? Kellen Moore probably would have been our head coach right now. Yeah. You right too, Rome. I'm seeing it too. Rome right. Rome is right. Other teams do it too. Yep. Yeah. I said that about Philly too. Yeah, I said that Philly doing that right now. Yep. They overriding their head coach. Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody can tell me that Sirianni wanted Kellen Moore. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Mm-hmm. So anyway. So let me get down to who Zimmer really is, right? And what the risk is of what he could be mutated into, okay? Because there's Zimmer, and then there's the mutation of Zimmer, okay? So Zimmer is the guy that everybody been raving about, okay? What Dion been raving about, what Woodson been raving about, what Greg Ellis been raving about. Now the funny thing is, I did a breakdown of George Iloka in 2019, right? Because my first article that I ever wrote professionally was on George Iloka, okay? And so in this article, let me see if I can find it real quick. I should have already had it up. But basically, I know I have it here somewhere. Okay, hold on real quick. I don't. All right, but listen. I want y'all to listen because I was breaking down Georgia Local. Man, y'all be patient. I'm finna find it, bro. Y'all just got to be patient with me. Everything can't be just perfectly queued up. Yeah, sometimes I got to fly it. Y'all give me 1 second. Because I got to show y'all this, man. All right, hold on. Y'all give me 1 second, man. Y'all be patient with your boy. All right. Let me pull it up. Pull up my article. It's my first article. And I wrote this with the Landry hat. Y'all be patient. Here it is. I found it. Man, you gotta be quick. You gotta be able to fly these planes. All right, here we go. All right. So this is the first article I ever wrote. Professional article in 2019. It was on Georgia Local, okay? So one of the key things that I wrote in this article was why he chose Minnesota and why he was going to be a good fit for us, okay? Hold on real quick. Let me find. Yeah, here we go. So I was making a case, right? And I said, this is my article in the Landry hat. I said, seeing the economic politics of football, a local bet on himself by going to Minnesota to play for his former defensive coordinator in Zimmer. The bet was logical but aggressive, which speaks to his confidence in his play. The logic was to play for a coach that he knew didn't care about draft politics and economics. So I'm explaining, not knowing at the time that Zimmer was going to one day be our coach, that I was talking about the traits of Zimmer based on what George Iloka said about him, is that he doesn't care where you're drafted. It's all about how you play. Okay? That's the real Zimmer. That's who he is. And that's why guys love him. Okay? Because he's fair. That's the number one trait that people loved about him. Then he said, then this is what I wrote. I said, the Vikings move for Iloka had an obvious downside. Hold on. No, I already read that part. Yeah, the draft politics and economics. So let me play this from a show that I did with West Coast. We did this in 2019. Y'all check this out. Thank y'all for being patient, man. But this go put it all together. I want y'all to really listen, and we go break this down. Here we go. Give me 1 second. 1 second. All right, here we go. Listen up.
That you need to know, because they'll probably be starting next year.
Yup.
And Boss Cowboy dropped his first official article with the Landry hat. And remember, they asked him to come on the Landry hat to be an independent contributor for the Landry hat. Basically, that's one step above working for them full time. The only way he's going to get to that full time is if we do our job and share them articles. So make sure y'all do that. That was a shameless plug. But Boss Cowboy, I called him this morning. I said, Boss Cowboy, I need to know a name of a player that nobody knows about on this team that probably will start. And he said it again. He said, George Iloka. I said, are you sure? He said, yes. I said, are you sure? Sure. He said, I'm sure. I said, are you sure? He said, go live. All right, we here. I need to know, man. First off, where can they find the article? Where can they find the article at? Because remember, it's on Landry. It's on. It should be on. It's on Dallas Cowboys Scouting. But where can they find the article at? And let's just jump into it, man.
Yeah, well, it's under the Landry hat, and just do a search under the Landry hat on the Georgia Local, the Sleeping Giant, because that's actually what I called him under the article, because he is exactly that. And I'm gonna be brief so that we can just go back and forth on it. I basically made 3 basic points on it. That basically a lot of the fan base is really not looking at Georgia Local, more so because they falling for the amount of money that we signed him for, and the fact that he didn't play a lot in Minnesota. So you had to really look at the details of what happened. And what really happened on him going to Minnesota is that it was more economics, right? And so let me paint the picture to you. How many people really but felt good and secure about Church as a starter? All of us would have said yes. All of us would have. Yeah, we would have all said he was a solid starter, right? And so that's exactly what Georgia Local was. But guess what? Barry Church was moved on. Why? Economics. It didn't have to do anything with his play. It was about, did we want to pay him? And we didn't want to pay him. We felt like we could go cheaper. Who was the guy that we went cheaper with? Heath. Yeah. Right? And so then you also look at what we did, Mo Claiborne. And think about Mo Claiborne and what Carr had to go through. They was playing with an injured Tank. So they was covering what I said in the article for 14 seconds. These new guys, that's playing with us now, have to only cover for 4 seconds, but yet their production was around the same. So it shows you, especially when you look at what happened to him in Cincinnati, they drafted a guy named Jesse Bates. He was a ball hog guy that slipped, right? So you got one guy who earned a starter contract and a top starter contract. You got Jesse Bates who coming in playing the same position, projected to be just as good. What happened? He got cut during preseason, not because he couldn't play, but more so because it was just cheaper to go with the younger guy, right? So this is why I'm very impressed with him, because he could have went to a whole lot of teams where he would have instantly competed. He chose to go to Minnesota. Did anybody ever look at who's over at Minnesota?
I know they got one All-Pro, and I think they have another guy that's damn near an All-Pro.
Yeah, 3 pretty much.
Yeah, I know, but I know one of them is for sure an All-Pro, because my boy is a blogger for him, and I always talk about their safeties. Like their defense should be top 5 with the names that they have on it. I'm just saying, but that's another story. We'll talk about.
I would say 85% of safeties that went over there wouldn't have started. Period.
Yeah.
Period.
They got boys over there. They got boys.
Yeah, but it shows you his belief in himself, because he said, "Look, I trust Zimmer." And I checked out his interview, and then one of the things he said is Zimmer don't care if you're a first rounder or if you undrafted free agent. He shows you his belief in himself, because he said, "Look, I trust Zimmer," and I checked out his interview, and then one of the things he said is Zimmer don't care if you're a first rounder or if you undrafted free agent. He shows you his belief in himself, because he said, "Look, I trust Zimmer," and I checked out his interview. And then one of the things he said is Zimmer don't care if you're a first rounder or if you undrafted free agent. He go play the best man. So he went over there to go against the best by betting on himself, right? Yeah. Now the only thing.
Y'all heard that on Zimmer? And this is from 2019. Obviously, I had no idea that Zimmer was going to be our coach. But the real Zimmer, not the mutated Zimmer, the real Zimmer doesn't care where you're drafted. It's all about how you play. I'm going to show that. Listen.
Is Zimmer did play the best man, and it ended up not being him. But they first rounder or if you undrafted free agent, he go play the best man. So he went over there to go against the best by betting on himself, right? Yeah. Now the only thing is Zimmer did play the best man, and it ended up not being him. But they still even
so Georgia Local went over to Minnesota because of the character of Zimmer and a deep safety room, a real deep safety room, because he knew Zimmer was going to play the best guy. He knew the place that I'm going to have the least amount of politics from all the teams that I can pick. He chose Zimmer because he knew from being in Cincinnati that Zimmer has no favorites except who can play. Guess who ended up beating out Georgia Iloka though? This gonna trip some of y'all out. Cause I know I researched all this back in the day. Guess who ended up being the guy that beat out Zimmer? Anybody want to take a guess? I mean, Georgia Iloka. Anybody want to take a guess? I want to see y'all take a guess. I really do want to see it too. Guess who beat out Georgia Iloka? Man, I love you, front office. Front office, you got it. Oh, my Lord. I love the Cowboy fans. We got the smartest damn fans in the world. It was Curse. It was Curse, bro. Curse beat him out. And when you go look at the background of how it happened, it really shows that Zimmer is all about playing the best guy. So Georgia Iloka was the starter for Zimmer when he was with the Bengals, to the point that Georgia Iloka earned a top contract. Curse was a 7th round draft pick and was getting in trouble. See, we like him now because we got the Curse that grew up. It was a Curse then that was a young knucklehead. And Zimmer still started him because he beat out George Iloka. Let me show you the proof where y'all can see I ain't making this up. All right. Yeah, because listen, man, I really dig into this stuff to really show you who Zimmer really is. The real Zimmer. Now, this clip is from Purple FTW podcast, who they cover. This guy covers independently the Vikings. So listen up. This is very interesting, right? When we looking at the traits of Zimmer and the character of Zimmer and the real Zimmer.
Early in training camp in 2018. So then, of course, we're like, Iloka was signed that season between the second and third preseason game by the Vikings. That was the preseason. Remember, Jayron Kearse was basically MIA. Like, he didn't play in the first 2 preseason games. Thought that he was going to be cut, the former 7th rounder from Clemson. And it was assumed that the starting safeties on the Vikings would be Harrison Smith, starter Andrew Sendejo, who's coming off that concussion from the Minneapolis Miracle game by dirty ass Michael Thomas. All right. Also, upcoming star Anthony Harris, as well as Iloka. We thought that those would be the 4 safeties. Jayron, it's been fun. It's been real. It hasn't been real fun. Right.
So he's saying everybody in Minnesota thought that Curse wasn't going to make it. They was like, it's been fun. It's been good. Bye. Why? They were saying Zimmer brought in his guy, George Iloka, right? Right? So he said that the overwhelming fans was thinking that basically Curse was going to be bye-bye. Listen.
Of course, Zimmer and Iloka chemistry, them going way back. Maybe Iloka takes over Sendejo, and then it's Iloka and Harrison Smith long term, because I think both of them are in their late 20s. That could be a nice pair for a long while, but nah. Jayron Kearse stepped up. To his credit, once the Vikings brought Iloka in, Jayron balled out in the 3rd preseason game against Seattle. Vikings ended up keeping 5 safeties on the 53-man rooster for the first time ever in the Zimmer era.
What earned Kearse the 5th safety spot? Balling out in preseason. Do I need to play that again? Huh? The competition was fair and the right guy was rewarded.
Maybe Iloka takes over Sendejo, and then it's Iloka and Harrison Smith long term, because I think both of them are in their late 20s. That could be a nice pair for a long while, but nah. Jayron Kearse stepped up. to his credit, once the Vikings brought Iloka in, J-Ron balled out in the third preseason game against Seattle. Vikings ended up keeping 5 safeties on the 53-man rooster for the first time ever in the Zimmer era. Traditionally keeps 4. And then Harris had his breakout when Sendejo went out. A lot of people thought Iloka would be filling in that role, not so much. 41, it was his time to shine. J-Ron became J-Ron, really carving out that niche as that third safety, the big nickel type role, which you would think that Iloka, Iloka and J-Ron, there's a lot of physical overlap as well as skill set overlap. So J-Ron won out. And Iloka, he played in all 16 games, but was mainly limited to special teams duty. Played 114 snaps on defense, mainly at strong safety as well as in the slot. 240 on the various special teams units. Did record 16 tackles and forced a fumble against the Jets, but it wasn't much. And if you were Iloka, you would think that, all right, so your old coach, you get to here, you sign for a minimal deal, and you would think that, I don't know, I was sold a bag of goods. Like,
you heard that? See, this is coming from Minnesota people. So he basically said, damn, he was the former starting safety, but a 7th rounder beat him out. He balled so good in that third preseason game versus Seattle that Zimmer was like, we going with Curse, because it was the right thing to do. Even though George Iloka went over to Minnesota to try to compete. And he was like, yeah, you not the guy. Because right was right. That's what you're dealing with when you're dealing with the real Zimmer.
Zimmer lied to me. Right, but you could see him being mad, but he wasn't. He was super gracious, super humble, propped up the young kids, and just sort of accepted as it is what it is sort of spot. Was in camp with the Cowboys in 2019, didn't make the roster, and that was his last sniff at the NFL, and just recently worked out with the Vikings. So,
And do y'all remember how George Iloka was done when he was here? Who remembers how George Iloka was done when he was here? Who remembers? See, because that's when I really started to notice the bastards versus sons for the first time. Because I was like, bro, why they not even playing George Iloka in the preseason? George Iloka wasn't hardly getting any snaps in preseason. And he was a free agent.
Bruh.
So let me go back to this real quick, because this is important, because this is going down to that mutant. And why we got to keep our eyes open for the mutant and call out the mutant if we see it.
Created a role for him to play where he was playing linebacker / safety for certain games to where they had matchup issues. So that shows the faith that Zimmer had in him. But then Sendejo and him at the end of that season end up being the odd man out, but that doesn't mean they can play. So the number one reason that people sleeping on him is economics, right? And they thinking just because he didn't play a lot at Minnesota that he's not good, and that's just not true. And I checked with a whole lot of people. I didn't just do research on this just from my own independent research. I talked to Bengals fans, bro.
Yeah.
I talked to, and you know what a lot of people say at West Coast?
What they say?
They said, man, he was my favorite player. That's saying a lot, bro. When out of the whole team, they said, man, that dude was banging. And look, because I have it on my Twitter page. Go look at the hit he put on Cooper, bro.
He smacked him.
He smacked him. And then he pulled an Allen Iverson on him, stepped over him and everything.
Stepped over him, yeah.
I mean, just like, so it's like people don't know. This man finna put on the show. The second reason I talked about that he's a sleeper. He is an obvious Chris Richard prototype.
Yep.
Because everybody that Chris Richard went after was 6'4", 225. Obviously start with Cam Chancellor. Then Obi Melifonwu, right? We made a big run at him.
Hold on. Don't miss what I'm saying right here. Listen. This is important.
It's like people don't know. This man finna put on the show. The second reason I talked about that he's a sleeper. He is an obvious Chris Richard prototype.
Yep.
Because everybody that Chris Richard went after was 6'4", 225. Obviously start with Cam Chancellor, then Obi Melifonwu, right? We made a big run at him before he decided to go with New England. And then Stephen Jones said himself that Georgia Iloka is more so here because of G-Jack, he said, and Chris Richard.
So George Iloka was here because of coaches. Loved coaches at the time. G-Jack and Chris Richard. Do y'all remember how much excitement it was for Chris Richard? But did George Iloka get a fair chance?
Oh, hell no!
So check this out. I'm gonna rock with this because this is to me measured, okay? Let me hit this button real quick. It's a big thing for Boss Cowboy to actually say publicly that he drunk Kool-Aid. Listen, I do not drink Kool-Aid without first measuring. Okay, I got me a comment that I think is measured, okay? Because I'm measured on this as well, all right? I think this is a fair comment. He say, boss, we know how the Jones operate and how Zimmer operates. I feel you, but I'm going to have to wait and see attitude. Yeah, that's exactly what we all should do. Wait and see, right? But we also need to know what we waiting on and the signs of a mutant Zimmer or the real Zimmer. Is that fair? I'm gonna say that again. We should all wait and see, right? But we also gotta know what to look for. We gotta be able to say, what are the signs of it being the real Zimmer, or is it the three-headed mutant Zimmer? See, the three-headed mutant Zimmer is gonna be a Zimmer that's under the influence of Mike McCarthy and Stephen Jones. So if Stephen Jones is influencing Zimmer, you will not see fairness. You will not see common sense. You will not see necessarily the best man play. You're going to continue to see if it's the three-headed monster. If it's a three-headed monster, then Wanye is still going to be waiting. But if it's Zimmer, Wanye will be playing. So, yeah, we need to know what to look for to know, are we dealing with the three-headed mutant, or are we dealing with the guy that has such a character that George Iloka went to a deep room knowing this man is gonna treat me fair? Yep. And Will said that will be the sign. So am I saying that it's all doom and gloom and hopeless? No. What I'm saying is we would be goofy as hell to just turn our brains off and just blindly trust that because they brought Zimmer in, that everything is going to be good, okay, and that everything. No, when you dealing with the Dallas Cowboys, whether you Mike McCarthy, whether you Dan Quinn, whether you're Zimmer, whether you any one of them, they first go make you kiss the ring and do it their way and prove slowly that you are right. It's the same thing they did to Mike McCarthy. They said, even though you've been whooping us up and down when you was at Green Bay, we so smart, we think that you need help. We're going to assign to you Kellen Moore. So then Mike McCarthy had to spend 3 years proving that he was actually better than the guy that was assigned to him. What? Oh, boss, they wouldn't do that. Yeah, they would. Yeah, they would. Yeah, they would. And that's why I said, Mike, that's why in this process, I'm trying to be balanced. I'm trying to be balanced. Because I understand, if I'm being fair, right? I understand Mike putting his foot down and saying, Zimmer, you have to work with Al Harris. We all understand that, right? On some of these situations, it's so obvious. It's like, don't come in here like I need to bring in my own guys when my coach done had 2 Pro Bowlers and both of them struck lightning. You know, you working with him. On that, yeah, I get it. I get it, right? That's common sense, right? Al Harris is, you know, put it like this. Any coach that you had to block, I can see Mike McCarthy saying, yeah, you got to work with that Zim. I get that. But none of y'all go sell me on Scott McCurley. Y'all not. You just can't. You just can't. Nope. Which brings me to this. All right. Because I was tagged by Star because another YouTuber who does very well had a real good thought, and I wanted to address it so that we all on the same page, everybody clear, okay? So let me go to it real quick, because I'm being fair, y'all. I'm being fair, okay? So Dakatek said, honest question, why are so many of y'all after Scott McCurley's head? Y'all do realize he was helping the linebacker core over in Green Bay with Mike McCarthy when they actually had, real linebackers playing the position. Not only that, but he did have a converted safety playing well with all things considered for most of the season. Bill only fell off after the teams committed to running at us. This is the linebacker group he was attached to in Green Bay. Now tell me he has anything close to the work with this in Dallas. So one of the key things that I would definitely break down is what's the primary job of a linebacker? When you think of a linebacker, are you thinking about a linebacker to first protect against the pass or stop the run? Most people with common sense go say stopping the run is going to be first for a linebacker. So when you say Bell only fell off after teams committed to run it at us, that's not a good endorsement for Scott McCurley. Because we are a passing league, right? So sure, a bunch of teams was doing what they normally do. What was they doing in a passing league? Most teams airing the ball out. So in that situation, yes, you had a good Bell. Yes, and nobody got no problem with that. We'll even give Scott a check mark on that. But when it came down to doing the primary job of a linebacker, what happened then? Bell only fell off after teams committed to running. So how's that an endorsement of Scott? That's number one. Number two, and the main reason, because he say, why some of us after his head, is more so because I want to protect Mike McCarthy from himself. I want to protect Mike McCarthy from himself because I honestly believe that at times he's too loyal. i.e. Mike Nolan. Y'all remember Mike Nolan? Mike Nolan gave him his first job. He rewarded Mike Nolan with another opportunity with Dallas. And what happened? We had the worst defense in franchise history.
Oh, hell no.
So I see a kryptonite in my head coach. I see a guy that if he bet on you, he'll stay with you too long. And Scott McCurley is one of those guys that been with him for a very long time. And it has a stench of politics. Nepotism or whatever you want to say. And I believe Mike McCarthy is best when he's working with people that he has no alliances to, i.e. a Dan Quinn. That's why I wanted him out. That's why I was super disappointed that Mike McCarthy basically was like, Zimmer, you got to work with him. Because Mike, how did you feel when they did that to you with Kellen? It took you 3 years to get your power. You had to finagle. You had to do all kind of press conferences. You had to sit down and talk to Jerry about big picture stuff. And then he finally started seeing it the way you were seeing it, to where he finally saw your value, and he finally saw the detriment of Kellen. But it took 3 years. You said yourself you prefer head coaches, then why are you treating a former head coach like he need his hand held on who his linebacker coach is going to be? Why? And don't be mad at me for asking the question. It's in my right to ask that question, especially when I look at the track record of our organization. It's in my full right. Yeah. So now I got a problem with Scott McCurley. I got a problem with Mike McCarthy. Because look what he did, right? Everybody know he has a problem with James Slater. Why? Because it was James Slater that exposed Mike Nolan. Yeah. See, it was the players that went to James Slater complaining about Mike Nolan. Yes. And she put it out there. She sounded the alarm. Yeah. James Slater went out there and she was like, they saying things are all good, but Houston, we got a problem. It's some bombs going off. Mike McCarthy like, oh, we fine. We okay. Oh, everything is fine. Jane was like, nah. No, it ain't. And what did Mike start doing? Guys that they assumed was leaks, all of a sudden was out of here. Yeah. So like, nah, I got a problem with Scott McCurley, man. I do. I got a real problem when your D coordinator got to do stuff like this. I don't like this, y'all. Can I be honest? I don't like this when your D coordinator got to hire Paul Gunther as a running game coordinator instead of just saying, man, you already know, bro, you finna be the LB coach. I'm talking about a real extensive resume, powerful resume on this man. And we still going with the new booty? Yes, I know he coached linebackers in the past. His first time coaching linebackers full time was last year as the head guy. And be honest, did you like the results of the group? Cause see, that's how I judge. And this ain't a Dak attack. This is just in general. Cause I want people to understand my philosophy of when I go after coaches. I go after coaches when I see the unit playing bad. I go after individuals when I see that individual playing bad. That's my criteria. I've always been like that. I'm never changing. That's why I never liked Doug Nussmeier, because everywhere he goes, it's a decline in that group. I never liked that. Do y'all remember when Doug was coaching the tight ends? They was and then we went and we got us a good coach. Yeah. And that tight end, yeah, we got Linda Wells, and all of a sudden, the tight ends just, all of a sudden, Schultz had all this swag, and Ferguson, and they all play with anger. They getting that from their coach, homie. So if the unit is bad, I'm going to have a problem. Now, if Ferguson playing bad on his own, okay, Ferg, I got a problem with what you're doing. So yeah, I want to be very clear on why I do. Scott, I want to protect Mike McCarthy from himself. 2, I didn't like the performance of the group. So when I don't like the performance of a group, I'm not going to hold my tongue and just hope things work out. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to call it out. I'm going to ring the alarm. That's what I do. Yeah, wrong. Yeah, wrong. Exactly. I never liked Doug. Never. Because everywhere he went, the room declined. Everywhere. I'm like, get that nepotism dude up out of here, man. I don't know who like him or who got, no, goodbye. No, I'm tired of this whole group falling apart. So put it like this. If Mike McCarthy didn't have to block, why you forcing it on Zimmer? Let me say that again. If the Cowboys didn't have to block that coach from going to another team, who wanted him? Somebody tell me who wanted Scott. Tell me. But I'm going to also say this. I'm going to treat, now at this point, I'm going to treat Scott like a draft choice. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to treat him like a draft, because once we draft you, you are ours. So then your mind have to switch. It got to go from, I don't like the pick, to how we going to help this pick get better. Because let me show something that my boy Jay Tuck said real quick, because this is what this whole presentation is about. Jay Tuck said it in a nutshell when he was talking about Michael Parsons. He said it's important that the Cowboys let Zim be Zim. Don't need everybody in the kitchen. Let him cook. See, that's the key. People missing what Tuck is saying. They missing what I'm saying. We not saying we don't believe in Zimmer. We saying, why is Zimmer seeming that he go have to run uphill and do all kind of hires to work around the three-headed mutant monsters and this type of stuff? Like, why should he have to do that? You said you hired people that was previous head coaches. Why you not trusting them? Why did you hire me to do a job but then you go micromanage me? Mike McCarthy, you are doing to Zimmer what was done to you. You didn't like it. Why you doing it to him? This man already has shown that he know how to have a top defense. He don't need no offensive coach trying to teach him how to run a defense. And I'm going to speak my mind on it. I'm not cool with it. I don't like it.
Bring it real back. He be speaking his mind. That boy with the shit.
And some people want to wait until it's too late. No, I don't do that. I don't wait until it's too late to complain. I start telling people I don't like the shit early. It's too late after we get bounced. Who go ring the alarm now, not when it's too late? Cause yeah, I'm cool with wait and see. Yeah, wait and see is cool. But yeah, we better be knowing what we looking at, and when we see it, you better have the balls to say something. If you see that three-headed monster where you start seeing the our guys philosophy, if you start seeing on our defense where people like Fowler is not getting more reps than Armstrong, that is not Zimmer. And you need to know that. That's that three-headed mutant. A puppet. And a lot of people don't believe that some of these guys are puppets. Man, when you trying to get back in the league, sometimes, and all of us do this, what would you do if you trying to get a job? If you trying to get a job, some of us will go work at McDonald's because we just trying to get in. We just trying to get bills paid. So yeah, I'm working at McDonald's and this manager talking down to me, but hey, I got to pay my bills. So yeah, I'm going to eat a little bit. Yes, no, man. We need to have his back. If we see politics, we need to start calling it what it is. A three-headed mutant monster. That is not my DC. That is not who we hired. That's who y'all made him into. He shouldn't have to go hire Paul and say, work with Scott. Scott should be working with him. He should go back to being a GA. He should go back. And yeah, I said it. I don't apologize for saying that. Just like that millionaire told me at the beginning of the show. He said, I can't stand people that tell me after the fact I knew it. I'm not going to be that dude. I'm not going to watch us hit our head on the wall and say, see, I knew it. Nah, I'm going to say, what you doing? I'm going to say it now. Now, if it come out that Zimmer actually has control and power, then I'm going to apply front office. I'm going to say, thank you for getting out the way. Good job. I'm going to clap for him. But you are a fool if you don't see the track record of what we do. Chris Richard and G-Jack both endorsed George Iloka, and he hardly saw the field in preseason. But I'm supposed to close my eyes and say, oh, I trust Zimmer. Yeah, I trust Zimmer, but I don't trust the three-headed mutant Zimmer. I don't trust a Zimmer to where he don't have the power to pick his linebacker coach. I don't trust a Zimmer to where Stephen Jones can put his hand in his back and then say, for budget purposes in business, we have to go with Armstrong over Fowler. Well, that's not Zimmer then. That's a mutant. That's not him. Did you hire him or did you hire yourself? Because if y'all so smarter than Zimmer, why don't y'all be the whole D coordinator? It don't make sense. I'm just being honest. And see, this is why I predicted all the stuff I predicted. Because it didn't make sense. When I was warning about the home field advantage and I was talking about the coaches and the scapegoat coaches and Amari Cooper looking like they running them out, it was all about it didn't make sense. When me and Tuck was fighting against the no identity offense, it was all because, bro, this don't make sense. And I'm not going to wait to say it. I'm going to say it now. I'm going to say it right now like, bruh, let Zimmer, and I stand with Tuck 100%. I want Zimmer. I don't want no mutant. I don't want nobody that's, well, we gonna tell you who to coach because like what Will McClay say, if we pick them, we gotta play them. So now, I already get it. Look, I can show y'all some of these comments. Let me show y'all some of these comments, man. These comments are off the chain. Let me just show you what we go through sometimes as content creators, man. When we really trying to give y'all what's best, bro. Like when we really just trying to give y'all the real juice, I want to show y'all something. Just what we go through. I'm gonna show y'all some of these comments. Just a few. So check this out. So my boss say, this is the I think season. No one knows what's going to happen, and as much as I love you, boss, I hate when you play detective and talk audio and read too much into the words sometimes. You hate that, bruh? See, that's what I don't understand. It was me playing detective on why I was calling out the stuff that I was seeing and was right. It was me that was playing detective when I was talking about Lael versus Steele. It was me playing detective when I was saying early the offensive power dilemma between Kellen and Mike and Jerry. It's the same warning I'm giving right now based on their words. But then we get attacked as content creators for listening to their words and taking them at their words and what they're saying. Do I need to play their words again? So now everybody want me and Tuck to be just positive. Just come on now, you guys, come on, it's negative. Get over Green Bay, get over it. It's like, bro, this not even being offended at Green Bay. This is about knowing your organization. This is about a history of this stuff. And then knowing when it's happening and calling it out so we don't lose from it. It's that simple. Yeah. So like, y'all listen to my channel, but all these years, but you still don't know the value. You don't know the value of what I do in the community. You don't see why what I'm doing is important. Don't you want the full Zimmer? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they go be all the way hands off. Maybe they go be like, hey man, we learned our lesson. We go trust you. But y'all mad at me for having some issues and trust issues? Cause didn't they step in on Mike McCarthy, the head coach? Or didn't they step in on Dan Quinn? Oh, so y'all forgot it was Dan Quinn who wanted Bobby Taylor. It was Dan Quinn who wanted Bobby Taylor. Yeah, and guess what? We didn't get it, did we? Did we get him what he wanted? Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no.
So it's just what it is. So listen, I want the Zimmer. That's all I'm saying, y'all. I want Zimmer. And if we get Zimmer, I think it increases our chances of greatly winning. If we don't get Zimmer, then we go have a Trojan horse like we had with Kellen Moore. What do you want? Do you want the Trojan horse? Or do you want the coach that can actually get the discipline on this team that we need? That can actually install the guys that he feel like go get us ready to take it all away? Or when it's time for him to get his guys, is Steven and Jerry go up to him and be like, well, hold on, let me just play it. Cause see, some of y'all think I'm playing. Is this gonna happen to him when he trying to go get the guys that he feel like put us over?
You know, can you always get him? No, but you know, it's important. Can we get this player a little bit better? Can we get this player a little bit better? And so that's what y'all want. That's what y'all want. Do we always get him? No. Yeah, man, y'all better listen to Tuck, man. Partially, he does sound like he's clipped, y'all. Do we always get him? No. But when you was in Cincinnati, he was literally able to tell vets, you fired that day as the DC. He said he got Georgia local said he got his attention when he fired a vet. Can you do that in Dallas? Can you say, for the coach of my team, I need to fire this dude? Hold on, he's one of our guys. I don't know if we should get rid of LVE. He's one of our guys. I don't know about that right there, Zimmer. Do we always get what we want? Man, that sound like your nuts already cut, dog.
And people want me to lie and pretend like I ain't seeing what it sounds like I'm seeing. You got the head coach picking his linebacker coach, and then you got to go get Paul Guntry to go work with him. What is going on, man? Say, bro, I ain't finna sit quiet on that. Sorry. You can, I'm not. Nope. Because that's not loyal to me, man. If I feel like my team is going off a cliff, I'm going to say something, man. And I should. Let me take these super chats real quick, man. Let's go. All right. Then we go take some calls. Oh man, we got some good old super chats in here, man. I appreciate y'all showing love. And appreciate all the content creators, JC in the building, my boy Rome in the building. It's always good to see when your brothers show up. You know, my boy Amp in the building, like all the content creators, man, when they come in here, I'm being honest, man. I like seeing y'all in the chat. It does, man. It give me an extra bullet in my gun. You know, listen, like you know how it is when the preacher preaching. It's good when the crowd is into it, but when your deacons in into it, and I'm calling y'all deacons to myself, I'm not putting y'all down, but I'm just saying, bro, it's good to see my brothers in the building, man, always. So, but he say, will Trey Lance get any QB1 reps this year? I don't know. Probably. You know, knowing how goofy we are. Oh man, this is messy, boy. Y'all being messy. Is it time for the Niners to fire Kyle Shanahan? I actually think so.
Bruh.
I think so. If I'm being all the way honest. Yeah, Kyle Shanahan, man. You looking like you real choky in the big games, big dog. See, I know y'all like to say that about Dak, but no, Shanahan is way more choky. Oh, yes, because a lot of times teams don't give up leads like that in the Super Bowl, but he does. And the fact that he fired Wilts, he know it himself. I like that super chat. Y'all so messy. Hold on real quick. Ooh, y'all messy. I love the mess though. I'm with it. Then B Bird with the super chat. He said, B Bird come with that. He said, to make fans feel better, they rather blame players and coaches because they can be changed and that gives them hope. The Joneses are constant. Oh, yeah. B-Bird, yeah, that's well said. And see, this the deal, B-Bird, and that's why people don't like it when I'm saying what I'm saying right now, because they thinking that I'm saying it's hopeless. Zimmer could actually even succeed being a mutant. I just don't want him to be a mutant. Put it like this. Our offense was still good when Mike McCarthy was not the play caller. It was good under Kellen. It was just better with Mike McCarthy. And when it comes down to trying to win the big game and trying to get us over the hump, in my opinion, we should be greedy for everything that makes us better. Everything. So, yeah, can we have success and discipline even as a mutant? Sure. But I would want him to have the authority to really. So, like for instance, what if Zimmer get challenged, right? What if, let me just throw out a name. I'm gonna just throw out any name. Let's say if Sam Williams come at Zimmer. See, with the Bengals, he could take action. With Minnesota, he could take action. Get him out. Fire him. He can't do that here. But the thing that you can, and then if you can't get that, can you get this? Hold on real quick. Because this is a good tweet, but the context of this tweet also got to be measured with the power, right? Right? Just think about what I'm saying. Let me wait till this. Let me wait till this get behind this real quick. So the context of this tweet that I'm getting ready to show y'all of Zimmer and his discipline. Check this out. The context of this tweet is with power. Okay? So when he had power and ultimate power, he was able to achieve these results. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? See, this type of tweet to give us hope. We'll be like, wow, Zimmer is going to get discipline back to the Cowboys. But will he? Will he? Because if he doesn't have the same, what's called cohesive power, where you have the ability to punish, how do you enforce discipline? If you got to go to boss every time you want to make an example out of somebody, you got to go check with Steven and make sure it's not one of their guys or not. Or you got to go check with Mike McCarthy to make sure, hey man, is it okay for me to make example out of Kelvin Josephs? Well, we drafted him. He's one of our guys. Wait! Hey man, Sam Williams is acting a nut. I think it's gonna make this whole team line up if I make an example out of him. I hear you, but he's one of our guys. But that Evans guy, you can go get him. That Evans, that Fowler, yeah, you can go get him. Yeah. So how do you get disciplined if you don't get the full Zimmer? And most people not gonna say it. I'ma say it. I'ma say it. And I think it's a problem. And I'm gonna keep my eyes open. I'm gonna keep my eyes open, man. So here we go, man. Let's take some calls.
Piling paper, got them talking nice to me. Down the bottle, it be going right through me. Brown baby, down to take a flight to me. They think that I'm stunting, but it's slight to me. Piling paper, got them talking nice to me. Guess that's why the labels want the rights to me. CD on my back and it feel light to me. They think that I'm stunting, but it's slight to me.
Y'all call on in to Boss Cowboy Sports. I want to hear your mind, especially if you disagree. If you disagree, call in. I ain't gonna embarrass nobody, man. I'm gonna hear you out, cause I might be wrong, bro. And if I'm wrong, I'm open to be wrong. So we gonna let the room fill up. We got Chris 214 in the building. We got Common Sense. We got DP Johnson. We got Queen in the building. Thank y'all for coming on in. I'm gonna give y'all 5 seconds, and then I'm gonna close this line down. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. A long pause. 5.
Conference has been locked.
All right, so I locked it. Let me start off with Queen. Queen, you live. What's up, Queen?
How you doing?
Good. Good to hear from you.
You too. I just what's so funny, boss?
Just how you talking. You just so nice. Go ahead.
I didn't hear all of your show.
Mm-hmm.
So is this a freestyle moment, or what in particular were you talking about?
It's freestyle. Whatever you want to talk about.
Okay, so my thing is this. I've been wanting to call your show. I can't never seem to get into you. That last game with the huh?
I was gonna say the phones
What'd
are
you say?
upgraded. I was gonna say that the phones are upgraded now because the last time I used to call, I didn't have a call queue. I got a call queue now, so.
Hey, I got to sing that lady from Good Times. No, that's the Jeffersons. From the Jeffersons. Moving on up.
What was you gonna say about Green Bay?
Oh, what I was going to say about Green Bay is the fact that that loss had me like really in a very bad space for quite a few days.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've never been at a position where I felt like, you know, I'm always going to be a Cowboys fan, but where I felt like I was going to dial back my enthusiasm and dial back, you know, my participation in all of the goings on with the Cowboys. Yeah, that's how bad I felt. And all these years that I've been a Cowboy fan, yes, I've been a Cowboy fan since the 60s. And yeah, so that really hurt me. And if I could get my hands on Dan Quinn and not go to jail, yeah, I'd tear him a new asshole.
Why?
But now we got.
No. I know why. I know why. A dumb question. Keep going.
You sound like a computer now.
Hey, technical. Keep going though. Keep going. You cooking.
Okay, so where did I leave? I don't even know where the hell I.
You was talking about turning Dan Quinn a new booty.
That Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, man, I truly believe that he sabotaged our season.
Me too.
And I believe it started with the Arizona game. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he was trying to get out into the coaching market. That's just my personal belief. Some people may say, well, you know, I believe that he didn't believe in Dallas. I think he wanted up out of Dallas. I think he wanted to go ahead and get in that coaching market because that was I just can't believe that you just did so much opposite of what you've done in the past. I'm just, you know, you go from 70% man to 70% zone. You got all these guys playing off man coverage. So your pass rush can't get home. Like, it was just weird. It was a weird game. So I just got a bad taste in my mouth. And then how he been going about, which is a free market, but the way he been going at trying to get all our best, it's almost like that feeling I get when it's like, man, now I know why if you in sales, they don't let you hang around and put in a 2 weeks notice. If you ever say you leaving, they let you go that day because they don't want you to be able to go steal all the leads and go work all the vendors and all that kind of stuff. And that's what they let Dan Quinn do. He been trying to get a job. So as he was trying to get a job, he was also inside working Al Harris, working, you know, Aiden Dirty. He was working, trying to get those guys knowing I'm out of here. I don't feel Quinn. I'm just being honest. And to a degree, I don't blame him too. It's both. Queen, you still with me? Oh man, all my calls left. Okay, my bad. I lost Queen. I was talking to myself. Okay. Okay.
There are 4 participants in the conference.
My
The
fault.
conference has been locked.
Queen, if you was talking, my app shut down. Queen. Oh, man. I had a glitch in the matrix, y'all. All right, let me go with the homie DP Johnson. DP.
Boss Cowboy, what's up, man? It's DP Johnson. What's good?
What's going on, big bro?
Look, I don't know if you can hear me or not. I'm gonna go ahead and talk my little talk.
Go for it. You can't hear me?
I think Paul Johnson was a must.
Yeah.
I've never heard of them running his defense without that man. In my eyes, I put in the chat too. This is every bit his defense as much as it is Mike Zimmer. So that hire was necessary. But the other thing that made it necessary is because Scott McCurley is obviously the new Pet Cat assistant coach. You know, Jerry Love trying to say he didn't go on the coach. I guess that's why they going ahead and lying on McCurley's resume, acting like George Edwards wasn't here. Makes no sense. Mike Parsons making all these all pros call that man y'all gonna fire him on an ego trip. Just want to make a power move and whatnot because Mike McCarthy proved he was better than your guys. You gonna give it all to his guys? That don't make no sense. But it's a whole lot going on, man. I hope that Gunther is allowed to really take over that linebacker room, even if they're gonna let McCurley and Darian Thompson keep the titles. But I definitely think the fact that Coach Edwards isn't here shows that Zim doesn't have full control of his room. I do also want to point out Darian Thompson is also in that same position. Dude came in undrafted, and somehow he managed to make rosters that Iloka and Ha Clinton Dix didn't make. Now he's got a coaching position here. His entire NFL career has been because somebody in the front office liked him and said he's one of our guys. So that makes me nervous. But, yeah, anyway, man, everything is really going to depend on whether or not how well we're able to sign the right players, bring in the right players. We need a Mike linebacker. I don't care about somebody being able to tackle well and all that. If you can't play that chess game against these top quarterbacks, and that's a Mike linebacker's job. It's not just to stop the run, but yeah, he's the one who's supposed to make the calls. He's supposed to get the adjustments for the linebackers and for the defensive line. Why you think we letting them do stunts whenever they want to? Because we haven't had a Mike linebacker in 3 years to make the right calls. Know what I mean? So they let them freelance, and that's what gets us in trouble. It gets the run game. All that gets fixed. You had a Mike linebacker, get this one run fixed. That's it. I'm out.
Good call by DP as usual. I wish he could hear me, man, because I want to ask him some questions, man. Common sense, you live.
What's going on, boss? Yeah, I'm just like everybody else. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Can you hear me?
All I had
Let's
to
test
say
it.
was
No,
that
okay.
on the Scott McCurley thing with the linebackers he had in Green Bay, what people fail to realize on that part is that the personnel of that linebacker crew was already better at run defenses and actual linebacking play than the ones that we had. So a lot of it can be chalked down to personnel. If you want to look at it that point, I'm like you. We didn't have a good personnel as he had in Green Bay, but at the same time, he didn't do real good with the personnel that he had, even though he had talented on the sidelines that we ended up giving up. Another thing with the Zimmer part, man, like I'm 100% with you, man. We just got to let him cook. But in my opinion, we really the Joneses got to let everybody cook. We still ain't got the full Mike McCarthy yet, in my opinion. And so once we get to that standpoint, then yeah, maybe we can get the better out of these guys, because we all know that there was, when Mike McCarthy first got here, there was an attitude that he was trying to instill with the players and stuff. Remember, I think what was it? He tried to go without having the names on the jersey and stuff like that. But you know, there's just some of the thoughts that I had. But also too, if we're gonna keep it real, I really wanted to hear back from you. But since I can't hear from you, I'm gonna say this, and then I'll listen on the chat and see. we all got to be honest. If we want to be honest and true about the whole situation, Will McClay silly too. He's just as silly as all the coaches we get. So we got to pay attention to the trust and everything that we're trying to put in Will McClay, because he can only do so much. And if they're not going to allow him to get the actual players, no matter the price tag, then maybe Will McClay wouldn't be cut. But by him only having a shot at Marshall's, he's silly too. So we got to really start looking into that and start calling that out as well. But that's the only thing I really got right now, boss. I'll try to call back next time, and then we'll be able to talk more, because most of it was really more about a back and forth conversation that I need to get some input on. Love you, man. Keep your show going, bro. We miss you, bro. And happy you out here, dog. Talk to you later.
All right. Yeah, at first I didn't think that Will McClay was cut, but now I do, especially after listening to the draft show from last year, because and thinking about the statements he was saying, like, if we pick him, we gotta play him. It's like, it's funny that when your lips move, it's like Stephen Jones is speaking. You know, it's like, if we pick him, we gotta play him. No, that's Stephen Jones. That's not you. Because see, when Will McClay was the head coach of the Dallas Desperados, he just got the best dudes. He didn't care where they came from. You know? So listen, and this is the sad part to common sense point. This is the sad part. I can make a 3-headed monster out of everybody. I could put Will McClay on this monster. I could put Mike McCarthy on this monster, because we use a committee approach on almost everything. And some things are good with a committee approach. Some things need to be just left to the most capable person. And Will McClay could also be a part of this dragon. He could, because he is responsible. He is responsible for working out the edict of Stephen Jones. That's what it is. So my boy Chris 214 just hung up. Damn, I really wanted to hear from my boy. Just hung up. Yeah, so yeah, this is not just something where I want the real Mike Zimmer, right? This is more than about the real Mike Zimmer. This is about taking their hands off all of it. Like, let Will cook. Let Zimmer cook. Let Mike McCarthy cook. And I'm being honest, man. I don't think they letting them boys cook. I think it's exactly what my boy Tuck said, man. I think it's exactly what Tuck said. I just want Zimmer to cook. I think that's the best way to sum it up. That's all I want to. Let me just show that tweet one more time before we get out of here, man, because it was perfect. Because I know people misunderstanding him. They misunderstanding me. Oh, man, and let me say this too. I want to say this too. This is my last point. It's totally against the show too. But first, let me read what he said. Change the culture. It's important that the Cowboys let Zim be Zim. Don't need everybody in the kitchen. Let him cook. He right on that. But I also want to say something about, this Michael Parsons podcast. I'm not sorry. That interview with Stephen Jones. This is what I want to say about that. I had a slight problem. With what Micah said. So Micah said, you shouldn't say what you said. If you say that between us and the guys, yeah, but you shouldn't say that in the public. That's why I want to change the culture. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. Because to me, that's putting too much emphasis on words. I want to change the coaching. Were we talking words? Because the person who actually had the effort, okay, let me read my tweet. This is what I said. Ain't nobody can fight this either. Regardless of what Tank said in terms of the team being tired, Tank's effort individually was consistent and top-notch all season. The culture of the Dallas Cowboys defense would already be fixed if the other guys' effort was like Tank's. Cause see, I honestly don't want Michael working on words. I don't want him working on no words. Well, actually I do, cause words are important. Yeah, what you say and how those guys are vocal matters. So I'm not gonna, let me kind of amend that. But more importantly than words was action. And I graded Micah Parsons' tape, plus or minus. I graded every snap with Candy, with the OC. His first half, full of pluses. His second half, too many minuses on effort. So I don't want no culture changes on words. I don't care if Tank vomit every week. As long as Micah Parsons' effort is consistent and high, and Tank's effort is consistent and high, that's the most important culture thing to me. And the person to me that they look into more than Tank is you, Parsons. That's who they looking to. Because the team ain't following Tank effort no more. He no longer the face of the defense. It's Micah Parsons. So when Micah Parsons' effort and energy, and he was pouting. CeeDee Lamb was pouting too in the Green Bay game. So honestly, I don't care about no words. I care about effort.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters.
Look, moving too bossy, we don't tread softly, but not flossy, the streets that taught me, moving too bossy, we don't tread softly, but not flossy, the streets that taught me, I'm just trying to get my nigga paid. We came from Section 8, and I knew I was at since the second grade. Man, I swear my time is coming, cause I'm never late. Came from broken homes and broken dreams to getting paid. Dollar bill, listen close, this is not a drill. Niggas hungry trying to get a meal. I've been in light, who gon' pay a bill? I've been in action, been in traction, surplus with niggas lacking, shining light but still be blacking, red lights will stop the action, grand to go, even when it's slow. Higher heights to balance out the lows. Can't ride the wave cause you ain't got a boat.